So, are you ready?
See.
Everyone is here. We can start, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, that's good to go. So, welcome everyone, and welcome to our audience also. And we are very excited to have you with us today. So, we will dive into career growth, professional development, and global opportunities. We have an amazing lineup of speakers ready to share their insights, experiences, and practical tips to help you take your career to the next level. So let me introduce you to our amazing speakers. So sit back, engage, and get ready for an inspiring and valuable session. So first of all, our speaker is Masuma Ajaz, an award-winning career mentor, motivational speaker, and the proud recipient of the Global Peace Award at the United Nations. Masuma has empowered over thousands individuals worldwide in their job search, professional growth, and confidence building. She is not only a renowned mentor but also an accomplished author and philanthropist with expertise spanning marketing, communications, and global brand management. I have added a QR code on the screen so you can instantly connect with Masuma on LinkedIn and continue learning from her inspiring journey. So please join me in welcoming Masuma. Thanks again, Masuma, for joining the session.
Thank you so much for having me for this
Thank
session.
you. So next is Mr. Rahil Aslam, with over 13 years of dedicated HR and recruitment experiences across UAE and KSA and Pakistan. Rahil has worked in wide range of industries including hospitality, aviation, defense, aerospace, e-commerce, healthcare, banking, and much more. He has an outstanding track record of delivering global recruitment projects within tight turnaround times, leading teams, and consistently meeting with high volume hiring targets. So Rahil specializes in end-to-end recruitment across all levels, from skilled and semi-skilled roles to technical, non-technical, and senior professional positions. You can ask your recruitment-related questions from Rahil. I have added a QR code on the screen for you to easily access Rahil's LinkedIn profile. Feel free to scan it and connect with him directly to expand your professional network. So please join me in welcoming Rahil. Thanks again, Rahil, for joining this session.
Thank you so much, Rav Nawaz. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to speak it out. And pleasure is all mine. Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you. So next is Fatima. Our next speaker is Fatima, someone who has made it her mission to help professionals break free from career stagnation and build a powerful personal brand. With over a decade of experience growing companies and hiring top talent across the Middle East, India, Fatima is passionate about people branding for growth and recruitment. She has coached thousands of professionals and students, trained corporate teams, and delivered impactful keynotes to help individuals stand out and become in demand on LinkedIn. Her work has been featured by Fast Company Middle East, American Diversity, and Biz Catalyst 360. She has built a thriving online brand, over 1.9 million post views, and 22,000 plus newsletter subscribers. Am I right, Fatma?
That's right. Thank you so much, Rab,
Yes,
for
yes.
that.
And I added a QR code on the screen. Scan it to connect with Fatma directly on LinkedIn and continue learning from her expertise. So please join me in welcoming Fatma. Thanks again, Fatma, for joining the session.
Thank you for the lovely introduction, Rab. Thank you so much.
Thank you. So next is Maria. Maria is with us. She is our next speaker. Is a true leader in career development and workforce readiness. As the founder of MV Careers, Maria designs and delivers online career programs for students, career counselors, and emerging leaders. With over 13 of years of experience and more than 1,000 hours of coaching, she has helped individuals secure promotions, navigate career transitions, and launch successful ventures. So you can ask the questions related to career transitions and to launch new successful ventures. from Maria. Maria works spans schools, universities, corporates, and private coaching, empowering learners to make informed career decisions and achieve real world results. I have added a QR code on the screen to connect with Maria on LinkedIn. Please join me in welcoming Maria. Thanks again, Maria, for joining this session.
Thank you for having me, everyone.
So next is Zahid with us. Zahid, please, there is some noise on your background. Can you please check if there is some noise? So next
Yeah,
is
I'll
Zahid
try
with
to.
us. Yes. He is a senior consultant and job strategist dedicated to empowering individuals and organizations through recruitment, career development, and global mobility. Zahid brings a multifaceted background in HR, career coaching, and immigration consultancy, helping professionals from graduates to executives navigate career transitions and international opportunities. He also specializes in resume and LinkedIn optimization, ensuring clients stand out in today's competitive market. You can see the QR code on the screen. Scan it to connect with Zahid directly on LinkedIn and continue learning from his expertise. Please join me in welcoming Zahid. Thanks again, Zahid, for joining this session.
Thank you very much, Mr. Abnivas, and all the esteemed members and guest speakers and your wonderful audience.
Thank you. Thank you. So, to kick off our discussion, I like to start with a question from our speakers first. So, I'll start this question from Fatima. Fatima, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes. We'll just start from Fatima this time.
Okay.
So, Fatima, what do you think is the single most important skill or mindset that professionals, whether students, early career, or experienced professionals, must develop to stay ahead and succeed?
First of all, they have to believe that they are eligible and qualified for that particular role, position that they are applying for. Because if they themselves don't have that 200% confidence that they are the right fit for the role, then that is reflected in the way that they talk to people, in the way the hiring manager we look at them. So it's the mindset that is the number one winning skill set that we need to develop. You can develop that. It is a skill set, having that mindset that whatever comes my way, I have that experience, I have that skill set, and I can do it.
That's good. That's good to know. That's good to know. Maria, what is your input on this? If you want me to repeat the question, what do you think is the single most important skill or mindset that professionals, whether students, early career, or experienced, must develop to stay ahead and succeed?
That's a great question. And just adding on to what Fatima was just saying, I would add on strategy. I think that it's great to have the right mindset, but without a proper strategy and a clear focus, young people and candidates would struggle to understand the process and also prepare themselves for that next step.
Thank you, Maria. Thank you, Maria. So, Zahid, would you like to add something in this, please? Zahid, you can hear me? No worries. I think so. He has some issue. No problem. No problem. Thanks to all of your thoughts and sharing valuable insights. So I have another question. This is a general question. Actually, this is we can see around us. Like there are two people. Like for in some organizations are there, they can be in different organizations. So one they just started with the same position. Okay, so after some time the one is growing professionally, like he just started with the basic and now he's on the managerial level position after a few years, but the other one is still stuck on the same position for after many years. So what is your thought, like So how the second person, like who is just stuck in this position, what communications, like what skills and what expertise he is in lacking in, or and the other one what he achieved in this career to achieve the the desired tasks or the career professional skills. So what you want to add in this what is your thought on this, Zahid? Could you hear me, please?
I think we lost the question there a little bit, Rab. Would you be able to share this question as you're asking us on the screen so that
Sure,
we can?
sure.
Thank you.
So, for someone who feels stuck in their career while their peers are advancing, okay, what practical steps or changes would you recommend to help them break through and reach the next level?
Okay, so the question is, if someone feels stuck, what they need to do, what skills and strategies they
Yes,
need to
yes,
develop to get
yes,
to the next level, to grow in their career. Yeah.
exactly.
Zahid, do you want to take this?
Zahid is not responding. Zahid, you can hear me?
Um, Maybe Masuma can take this, or Maria.
Yeah, sure.
Sure.
Okay, for it's a great question, and for any progressive life or for to be succeed in your life, the first most important thing is the progressive mindset. You should have that progressive mindset to go ahead to succeed in your life. And the second point in this, you should have a target in your life. That is the must thing. If every year you should have targets, this year five targets, next year five targets. So this is really important to improve, and this is the reason that every year you are improving. You are going ahead. Like last year when you were there, might be next year you will not be there. So if you're stuck somewhere, if you're stuck in your career, you have to sit, talk to yourself, and you need a self counseling. Talk to yourself. I'm stuck here. If you're not feeling stuck, then it means you're not stuck. If you are feeling mentally that you are stuck, then you have to sit down, write down your targets, write down your options, write down your resources, then how you can come out of the situation. So this is all a mind, this is all I feel it's a mind game. You have to do it mentally, you have to get yourself ready, mentally prepared to take next steps. And once your mindset is ready, it will reflect in your actions. You will design a track, or you can design a roadmap for you or for yourself for the next 5 years, even for the for the 1 year. So this is the thing for me. If it all comes in your mind, you need to be mentally accept this that you are stuck, and then you can design your roadmap. Then you have to work on it, you have to do some actions, you have to take steps to come out from that situation. So this is the most important thing. You have to be mentally prepared for this.
Thank you, Masuma. Thank you, Masuma. You just shared very valuable information. Actually, this is very important. The first thing that we will accept any situation. In whatever the situation, we should accept first. Like we are in this
Yeah,
situation. So then we can work on
exactly.
that. So
Yeah.
this is very important. This is very important. So Fatma, would you like to add something in this, please?
No, I think Masuma beautifully answered that question, and it's not that, it's just the awareness, because a lot of people are aware, uh, but they choose to ignore it. So they're in
Hmm.
denial of their state.
Yeah.
That is like the biggest red flag anyone can have when they're stuck in their career. Like, I could take myself as an example. When I started off my career in the UAE in 2015, there were some roles where I knew I was like feeling stuck, but I felt comfortable in that role. So I didn't want to move on to the next opportunity, and that delayed my progress. So, not acknowledging that you are stuck is a
Hmm.
big red flag. So once you acknowledge it, you have to be easy on yourself. There's no point of saying, "Oh my God, I lost time, or I wasted my time, or I wasted my, life." There's no point of playing victim here. It's about, okay, what can I do now? What can I do to move forward? And what Masuma said is exactly what we need to do. We need to move forward with this right goals and strategies. And it's not wrong for you to ask help. And if you don't have the right people around you, because half the time your family or your friends may not understand what you're going through. Like when I used to tell family and friends that, you know what, this job sucks, my God, my manager is such a pain, or whatever, like when I used to crib and criticize, they used to feed that criticism. They used to acknowledge, they used to make me feel better. Like, they liked hearing that. They didn't say what they have to do about it. That's because I was telling the wrong people. If I had to reach out to someone like Maria or, who's a career specialist, so if I had to tell them this, then they would have said, hey, you're stuck. You need to do something about it. Or, you need to understand what exactly is happening with you. So I think it's that awareness. And the second thing is to seek the right people that can help you out. Am I right, Maria? Do you want to add something to this?
Yeah, no, definitely. I think both Masuma and Fatima are totally nailing it. I heard, Rab, that you mentioned, what about my peers? If my peers are moving ahead, am I correct? Was that part of the question?
Yes.
And I think that's a really relevant part of the question. So I'm gonna speak to that part because I think Fatima and Masuma responded really well. First, for me, it's important that the individual understands that each person is on their own career journey. And as Masuma said, when you have a clear focus, when you have your targets and you know what you're striving for, or as Fatima said, when you're acknowledging your present state, then you understand as an individual that it really doesn't matter what anybody else is doing. As long as you're gaining that career clarity and understanding that your career is not a job. It's definitely not a job title. And your lifelong career means that at every different phase of your life, you're going to have a different opportunity, or you'll be striving for multiple different things in your career. So when you look at things, oops, I'm so sorry. When you look at things from that lens, then you understand that it really doesn't matter what your peers are going through because you're on your own journey.
Thank you, Maria. So, but I want to add something in it. So is this sometime if anyone stuck in the career in any stage, so is this the time to think like the transition, like he or she should transit from that position or that career or that field to another field or something like that, or this is something different, like might be this position or this company or this like you can say this field is not for that person, so he or she should think that is the time for the transition. Maria, can you please answer this one?
Yeah, so I think when you're thinking about career transitions, I mean, there's different levels and different layers that the individual will understand, that it's time to move on. So if we're looking through the lens of what Masuma was saying and understanding your annual targets, really understanding what you're aiming and aspiring for, then as an individual when it's time to pivot and transition in your career. However, most people have never really sat down with themselves to understand the journey of their career. Many young people, for example, leaving university aren't even clear as to why they're taking on a degree and why they're even on their career path. So for individuals like that, it would be quite challenging for them to understand when to transition, and they tend to react to the labor market. So for example, they'll transition when the economy strikes in a negative way and they have to find another job. They'll transition when a new employer decides that they'll not offer them a promotion or a salary raise, or these reactive decisions. But when you are clear about your career, when you have a strategy, when you look at your long life and you start to understand that at different parts of life, different phases of life, that your career will serve different needs, then you start to be proactive and you start to plan ahead. And so when we look at that, we can look at it through the lens of a theorist, Donald Super, for example, a very famous career theorist. And he looked at the lifespan of an individual. And at each different phase of life, you would have different requirements. And so when you are clear about those phases, you can proactively begin to plan ahead and start to understand the pivot and the transition. And I think another thing that we need for individuals to understand is it's a turbulent labor market, which means you should never be focused on the job as for life, and definitely never focused on that guarantee of security of job. And so anyone trying to pivot and transition in today's current labor market should be focused on multiple streams of income, multiple streams of employment, constantly upskilling and understanding on an intuitive level when, as Fatima was saying, it's time to thrive and time to evolve in your career.
Thank you, Maria. So, Rahil, can you hear me?
Yes, Rabnawaz, I can hear you.
Yes, you can answer this question. There's someone just mentioned in the comment box why I'm not being hired as an IT professional. Actually, this is very common question. Usually, the companies are asking for the regional experience. Like, why do you have the Gulf experience like this? So, how you?
Okay, let me just go through the question which Muhammad Azik just asked, that why am I not being hired as an IT professional in the UAE despite having 5 years of experience in the cloud technology, another 5 years in the IT industry, technical roles of a total. Okay, so Asik, coming to your question that why you have not been hired. See, I'll tell you a very simple thing. To be hired by someone does not make that you should have a very specific kind of a CV or something. I'll tell you one thing, that the recruiter, which is
Did we lose him?
Yes, we cannot hear you, Rahil. Rahil, can you check your connection, please?
So while he comes back, is Zahid online with us? Zahid, can you hear us?
Rahil, can you hear us?
Yeah, ma'am, I can listen you. Fatima, Miss Fatima. Can you hear me?
Yes, Zahid, I think you're the only one who didn't speak. So until Rahil comes back, do you want to answer Mohammed Azab's question on why, despite having the relevant experience, he's not getting hired to jobs here in Dubai?
I think there are certain reasons which we need to think about. There's the time management, and the right time is also very important.
Yes.
The recruiters also need a person who immediately whom they can have a physical contact, physical interview. Okay, there are certain people who are just applying from other countries, but who are not present physically. So there is a proper time to appear in front of the person or the recruiter, or their availability. Okay, so they check the priorities whether the person is available or not. So these are the reasons which people sometimes don't even receive the interview call. So I think that this is the time management is also very important, and the right experience is also very important. But these things must also be kept in mind while you are just going to appear in any kind of job search.
Yes, Rahil, he came back. Thank you, Zahid. Thank you.
Welcome.
And Rab, if you don't mind me adding on to that, like I just want to tell a story of a person who did try to get a job, like when he was based in India, and I was in Dubai at that time, and I told him, see, if you're really serious about getting a job, you're really serious about changing your life, and you believe you have the skills, then come on a visit visa. Now there are jobs that you can get hired when you're in your home country, but that takes strategy, that takes planning, and it also there's a lot of work involved. So rather than me hiring someone from India or from Australia or from Sri Lanka, I would prefer to hire the local talent that have already spent their money and come to Dubai, and they are right now here in Dubai, right? So he took my advice. He took a 3-month visa and he came to Dubai, and he was doing the same thing everybody else does, apply online to hundreds of jobs. And it was not working out. I said, "See, if you really want a job, then you have to be focused, you have to be targeted." So I think it's about how much you need that goal to be achieved, and building that strategy and building that plan to be able to get hired to the right role. So we made a plan after that. There was almost 2 months into the visa. It was getting very low salary. But I said, see, the salary for you is almost a six-figure salary. Uh, what experience professional did Dubai get? He said, well, they all have Dubai experience. I said, dude, it's IT.
Fatma, your voice, you have some issue with the voice. Can you
Can
please
you hear?
check?
Okay, can you hear me now? Is it
Yeah,
better?
yeah, it's very clear
Okay.
now.
Yeah, it's very clear now.
Awesome. Okay, I think I had the mic far away. So I said, so he was getting lower salaries because he was targeting companies that were paying lower salaries. So I said, if you want a good salary, the salary that everybody else is getting, you need to target the companies that can actually pay you that salary. And then you need to tell them that you're the right person for the role. So I believe it's this market that we are in, it's no longer about talent because everybody is talented. And I think a lot of people fail to acknowledge that. They're like, I'm better than the other person. No, you're not. Everybody is as good as you. The question is, how can you prove it to the other person who wants to hire you? And if you can answer that question, you can get any job you want. Am I right, girls and guys? I'm sorry, but I
Yes,
just
yes.
add that.
I don't
I
know. Can I? Oh,
Yeah,
sorry. Go ahead.
please go ahead, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
No,
I
go
can
ahead,
some
Rahil.
part.
Go
No,
ahead. Go ahead. I just want to play devil's advocate here for a minute. I think what we have to stop doing is making people believe that the employer is this individual that has to be wowed and sparkled and all of these things. And I think what we have to start taking ownership of is accepting that the experience is subjective. And what that means is that every employer is really looking out for the best of the role that they're trying to fill. And in doing that, a lot that the formula, I think, for successful recruitment, I don't believe is there's a magic formula. And I think it really depends on the situation, the context, and of course the recruiter. And so individuals applying for roles have to, and I always say it's like you want to gamify the whole experience and understand, number one, it's not personal, even though it feels very personal. Number two, before you even get in front of a human recruiter, most likely your resume, if you're applying for something online, will have gone through some type of ATS system. So if you haven't invested time in really updating your CV every single time you're applying for a different job, in making that investment of time, then your chances of getting in front of a human may be even less than what you would hope it to be. And then finally, when you do get in front, it's really understanding how you respond to the interviewer if you were lucky enough to get an interview. And another thing that we want viewers to understand is that when you're in an interview, if you're even in a networking situation where you have about 30 seconds to get to know the person in front of you, you want to have them look at you. And I think this is, Fatima, what you were probably discussing, in that you want the interviewer to look at you as an individual, match with the brand of the organization, and understand that you can hit the ground running without too much onboarding and too much training. And how you respond to the interviewer is essential in the process. So you'll hear different methods of responding. The STAR method, for example, is one that I'm sure everyone has come across, ensuring that you're not just robotically answering the question, that you're able to show the type of processing that you as an individual can be trusted to bring into the organization. But after this blah blah situation that I'm putting you all through, I think what everyone should pay more attention to is to stop trying to figure out the magic formula to getting a job and start looking at every situation, detaching from the feelings of rejection, of not getting it, the timeline that you expect to get a job in, and also to understand that employers are selfish. They're looking for someone that can fit the needs of their organization. And so they're going to take their time and they're going to choose the right candidate. Sometimes it might be someone that has more experience. Sometimes it might be someone that has less experience. Sometimes it might be someone that they see as more value. You don't know because you're not in the head of the recruiter.
Thank you, Maria.
I would like to add Ms. Maria and Ms. Fatma's discussion or point of view that as Ms. Maria was telling that the recruiter or the employer is quite selfish. Okay, so we must think and we must try to understand his psyche as well, what he wants actually, what he needs actually. So we must try to make our resume or we make our preparation or make our interview accordingly. Okay, if we are just trying to understand, and the second thing is very important, as I earlier said, that timeline is very important. Okay, you must think that we don't have the time. Talent is everywhere, as Ms. Fatima was telling that everybody is talented, but you have to prove your talent on the very right time. So time is very important again for this kind of recruitment. If you are not available, if you are more than talented for anybody, but if you're not there to show your talent, then definitely the next person who is going to appear will be hired at that time.
Thank you, Zahid. So I have a question from Rahil. This is on resume actually, on the CV. Like what you say about the ATS friendly resume? Like how what are the parts should be added in for the ATS friendly resume, and what should be eliminated from it?
Yeah, that's a very good question, Rabnawaz. Coming to that question, which Agai has just asked, this question is also relevant to the same, that why a candidate has not been hired, even
Exactly.
after having several years of experience relevant to the industry, having talent, skills, and everything. See, this having a particular CV for a specific job is very important nowadays. uh, Having same CV sending across for the multiple job positions is outdated. Tailor your CV according to the job description. And now what I have understood working in the industry, that around 70 to 80% of the industry professionals, they are using the application tracking system. And application tracking system that is very intelligent, that will stand out the CV of a person who is having the relevant keywords in the CV. I must say that to stand out your CV, to bring it up, you must have to include all the keywords, whatever is there in the job description. Rightly, Fatma mentioned that everybody is talented, but to stand out the CV, to bring it up in the ATS is another thing which you have to learn. If you want to bring your CV up to the first row, or to stand it out from the rest. So I must say that you, before applying for any CV, you should add all the keywords, whatever is there, which is there on the job description. Even I must say you can copy paste all the job description words, whatever is there advertised by the person who advertised the job. In that case, ATS will definitely stand out your CV, because that is also based on AI. So whatever the words are there in the job description, it should be included in your CV, in your resume. So in that case, the recruiter can point out your CV that, okay, yeah, this CV is having all the job descriptions, whatever I have given, or what all the keywords whatever is there in the job description. So in that case, I think it will definitely benefit you to be hired by any recruiter.
Thank you. Thank you. So, Masuma, do you want to add something in it?
Yeah, here I would like to add few things for the resume and the kid. I came across a lot of people who are well qualified. They are doctors or they are like any. But the problem is what, and it is relevant to this question also, that who said okay, he's IT qualified and several years of experience or something. The problem, they are not displaying themselves or market themselves properly. They are not, their CVs are not reflecting the person. There is always a difference between the person and the CV. If you talk to that person, might be he's very well qualified and you feel like, yeah, he's the right person. But when you look at their CV, it's poorly arranged. It's not the CV. There's always a difference. The most important thing is your personality, whatever you are, how strong you are, how strong candidate you are, how well qualified you are, how good you are, it should reflect in your CV. Your CV should say and speak that this is you. So you have to reduce this difference. You have to see the CV and you have to make sure that this is you, because CV is the only tool that will land you at the interview. And only at interview they will judge or they will come to know that how good you are, how strong you are, and how experienced you are. So this is one problem which I am seeing. A lot of candidates, they are complaining that we are not getting calls, we are applying, I have 10 years of experience, I have 7 years of experience, but they are not seeing there is a huge gap between their CV and them. So whatever you are, how many experience, how many years of experience you have, like all of you said, Mr. Raheel and Fatima and Maria, that it should be reflecting in your CV what exactly. So you need to reduce that gap. If somebody, like for example, if we look at from the recruitment perspective, if somebody is like for me, if I have to shortlist some CVs, I will see the CVs. So if I feel there, it's not poor, the format is not good, the data is not arranged properly, the details what I need, it's not aligned. So of course I will not shortlist the CV. I will shortlist the CV which I feel is properly like education experience. I can see, because if you see the recruitment part or the recruiter, they are receiving thousands of CV. So they are unable to read the whole CVs. They cannot. So you have to stand out of the crowd, because right now there is a competition. If you're applying in a market or in a place where there is no competition, then you have a very high chances to get hired. But now if you're talking about UAE, Dubai, everybody is coming here. From whole world people are coming here, so here competition is very high. So you have to stand out of that competition. And how you will stand out, despite of, like I have seen a lot of people are saying I'm from New Zealand, I have 10 years of experience, I'm not getting hired because you are not representing or displaying yourself correctly, because you are not, your CV is not reflecting you properly. It's not, it's poorly formatted. The keywords, like Mr. Rahil said, the keywords are not there. So these are the things. The first thing you have to work on your CV. This is the only tool which will get you hired or which will give you a interview call. So you have to work on this thing must, to reduce the gap between CV and you.
Thank you, Masuma, for adding these valuable insights. So the next question, my question is from Fatima. It's very important question, Fatima. Despite all of these, like we posted everywhere and lot of
Mm-hmm.
advertisement, still we are not getting the questions from the people. I think so. They
So the thing is, I'll tell you what went wrong, or not what went wrong, what could have gone right. Yeah. So a lot of people, first of all, a few of them have asked, like, has the session started? So um, the notification needs to be like, I was reposting it. I'm not sure if you guys have done it, and we need to keep
I have
reminding
done.
people that. Okay, great. So it's about reminding people. Honestly, LinkedIn will give a notification, but until and unless I am clicked as an attendee, I'm not going to get the notification. And we need to prompt for questions. Like right now, how many people are watching us live? Like you will be able to see that on your stream. And I know that some of your questions, you might think like, you know what, I'm going to get the same answer, but maybe your problem is different, and maybe the challenge that you're facing is different. And I agree with all of the points on resumes and keywords and all of that. But I think the traditional job search system is broken. Even if you're going to do everything right, hire a coach, do your CV, do your LinkedIn, there is still chances that you may not get noticed until and unless you bring a little bit of branding into your marketing, as Masuma said, marketing into your profile, because you need to put yourself out there and present yourself on in front of people, right? If I don't know you, I don't hire you. If you don't exist to me, literally. Like I was making a LinkedIn, I was going to start reels, so I was making a reel yesterday, and this is what I actually said in the reel. Like, LinkedIn is sort of like Facebook, right? So now if I know Maria and if I know Zahid, I will know, I can get to engage with all the people that they are connected with. And I can also get to engage with people that their first level of connection, like I can see up to 3 levels of connections with the people I'm connected with. But let's assume you're a job seeker, right? And you are not connected to me. You're not connected to Maria. You're not connected to Masuma. So, you're not even connected to the first person we are connected to, or our second level connection, or a third level. And if I'm hiring a position, and if I search on LinkedIn, say IT officer, you're not going to come up in the search result because, first of all, your profile should have been so well branded that it can come up in the search results. But mostly it will not, because that's how it works. Like I am going to be able to see the people who are immediately connected to me, or at least someone who's engaged with me. And you need to make yourself visible in my eyes so that I know that you exist, like the others said. And you kind of need to bring yourself into the picture for people to be able to hire you. And when you do come on stage, you need to present yourself as the right fit, like Maria added. That culture of that company needs to match who you are. Now if I'll be point blank and say, if I am hiring an Emirati for this role, I'm not going to hire any other nationality. Or if I'm hiring only an Indian for that role, I'm not going to, like, I have a quota. I have to hire 5 Indians, 5 Emiratis, 3 Filipinos. I don't know I'm not going to tell you what's the quota, but everything works on a quota. We get visas based on quotas. Am I right, Masuma and the other HR professionals here?
Yes.
So we have a quota. We need to meet that quota. We can't hire just because I'm an Indian, I can't hire Indians on my team. So people often misunderstand that as a bias. We are not biased. It's just that the system is protected in such a way that everybody can get into the system.
Yes,
And yes, there
exactly.
are yeah. So that is something I think people don't know. They think, oh, I don't know, that company will not hire me, or they misunderstand. You try to understand whether or not you are a right fit. Like if you go and look at the employees in that organization, you would know whether you would fit there just by looking at the kind of people they hired. If they are all from IIT and Harvard, and you don't have any of that sort of experience, then I'm sorry to say the standard of that company is hiring that kind of talent. So unless and until you have a Harvard or an IIT degree, you're not going to get into that. Like Google is a good example for that. Like Google, the way they hire, the stringent hiring process is so unique. And it's all about the strategic game that we play here, Rav. So I hope that closes the loop on that question.
Actually, I want to play devil's advocate, Fatima. I think I can understand your messaging, but what you don't want to do is, what we don't want people to do is feel limited by their education or their place of privilege. So it's important that, going all the way back to Masuma's comment earlier on, right at the beginning, understanding your targets, putting your head down and focusing on that strategy without considering all the barriers and limitations. It's already hard enough to find work in today's labor market. And Fatima, you're absolutely right. There are national agenda requirements that recruiters have to follow. And of course, the candidates are not aware of those requirements. And there are parts of the world where, Fatima, it would be illegal to state that you need a certain nationality. But in the UAE, I guess we're allowed to do that, particularly when we're looking at national employment. And so that's why it's so important for individuals looking for work right now to disconnect from the emotional attachment of applying for the job. And I always say to clients, when you're in need of a job, it's almost harder on an emotional level to stay optimistic when it is such a saturated market. So try to find a way to take on perhaps some part-time work that requires very little skill, something that you can do to generate income. And in the UAE, if you are based in the UAE, you can do that. You are allowed to be doing that. You can take on some freelance work, take on some part-time work while you're looking for that ideal role, and never stop looking. And don't wait until you have to reactively find a job to start building on that strategy. And coming back to Fatima's discussion about, if a company tends to hire a certain type of candidate, there are employers like that. And that's why we say that employers are very selfish. But I have seen situations where someone with a degree from a lower ranking university showed a high skill, high talent, people hire people, very impressionable. They had a very rich network, and they were able to, overcome some of those barriers. So I think it's important that we don't dissuade people, and also that we remind individuals that it's a saturated market. We're in a competitive world, and your biggest competition is not the person next to you. It's actually the ATS machine. Will your CV get picked up? And right now, you can apply for, you can use different types of free platforms. ChatGPT, put in a prompt, put your CV in, put the job description in, and it'll whip something up together. I think, Masuma, was it you saying if the CV doesn't have that right format, that right structure, what you were speaking about without saying is she's looking for the attention to detail. So already, even when she's looking through the CVs, she's looking at certain requirements of the candidate. Does the candidate look at the job description? Is the candidate responding to what I'm looking for? Did the candidate put effort into applying for this role? Are there spelling mistakes? Are there grammatical errors? What type of attention? So even on an unconscious level, Masuma is looking and scanning through that CV, assuming that you made it through the initial ATS. So for me, if there's a young person watching, a middle-aged person transitioning, I say you can never go back. You can never undo where you studied, what you studied. Education is a privilege. You might not have come from the privilege of being able to go to a high-ranking university. Don't let that dissuade you. I have seen people rise from nothing and turn into vice presidents and CEOs. And I've seen CEOs lose opportunities because of one conversation in the office. So I think it's important that we stay optimistic, build your strategy, and don't believe that bias and discrimination is the reason you're not going to get an opportunity. Forget it, move on, move forward. There's no time to be held back.
Thank you, Maria, for these valuable insights.
Yeah, and I love that, Maria, that you answered that question in that way, because it can be difficult to miscomprehend this particular topic, because it's a little bit sensitive, and I love that you addressed it. So thank you so much.
Yeah, no, it is. It's a personal experience. You're looking for a job. You need to earn some money. You have bills to pay. You have responsibilities, obligations. It's personal. It feels personal. Yeah. And especially if you're unemployed, if you have invested to travel to the country and apply for work, you're so focused on the expense and the fear of what if. And you know what? I think we have to stop listening to all the distracting noise of how hard it is, how saturated it is. That doesn't help you. If anybody's into sport or if you're into Formula One, the sports player and the Formula One driver never has time to look around or look behind. It's focus
Yeah,
on the goal and just keep going, right?
keep going.
And I
Yeah,
and I
beautifully
think
said.
that I think if you use that same strategy, you don't have time to think about how hard it is. You just have to put your head down and keep going.
Yeah. Yesterday is over. We have just today and we have to move forward.
So, who would like to answer Annam Farid's question? If I get interview or demo call from an American or British school, please give me some tips.
I can
So she's
definitely
asking,
jump in for that
yeah,
if you
I
want.
think so. She's asking something like if she will get an interview call or the demo call from any school in UAE. I think so, or American or
Yeah,
British.
I think if they're going to call you for an interview, and what you definitely want to do is understand what you've applied for, and understand what's required of you. Use that STAR method to answer the questions. If you're looking at an educational institution, they're probably going to be looking for experience. So if you lack on the experience side, then find ways to show that you have the skill or the experience without having the educational institutional experience. But in my experience, when you're applying for schools and they're really specific about curriculum, they want to know that you have knowledge of the curriculum, that you're aware of the age bracket or the year group or the grade level, and that you have experience. And particularly if you're looking at those higher level grades, so as you're getting closer to secondary, in the American system, be familiar with those APs, be familiar with the American diploma. If you're looking at the British system, understand the GCSE exams, understand how to choose those subjects, and definitely understand A levels and IB levels or BTEC levels. So those would be key things to be thinking about. Now, she didn't explain what year group, but I'm kind of giving her a general overview.
I would also like to say something about that, as Ms. Maria was telling, that you must understand which position you have applied and what they actually looking for, and what this school or this institution is about, and at what level you are applying for. What are the specific requirements or the job descriptions mentioned in the advertisement, or what you need to do. I mean, you must spend some time on the job description or the advertisement, and fortunately you receive that interview call. You must try to understand the school, its institution, its culture, and what kind of people or what kind of students studying there, and what kind of teachers are being mentored there. So you must understand these things. So I would recommend, and I would hope that you will have a benefit for that.
Thank you, Zahid. Thank you, Maria. So next question is from Salman Usman. uh, Regarding this one, which we already discussed, ATS friendly resume, it should be single column or two column layouts. And the second question is asked, is cover letter mandatory for all job applications? So I think so, for the ATS friendly, it should be single column or two columns resume. Who would like to answer, please?
I'll take it. I'll take it up. Just to
Yes.
add on this, the question which this guy has asked for the resume format. So I believe that is as per my experience, the single column resume is more ATS friendly than the two column. This is as per my experience. Every person has could have different opinion. And what is the next part of the question? Actually, I'm not having the comments there. So
Yes, yes. The second part is that, is cover letter mandatory for all job applications?
see, cover letter. I as per my experience or as per my expertise in the industry, I must say it's an outdated practice. It's not there in the market anymore. Other participants or other guest speakers can have a detailed discussion on this. But as per my my expertise or my knowledge in the market, I think it is outdated. Because see, recruiters or the hiring managers do not have enough time to go through your the cover letter, where your CV should stand out. And to be there in the industry, or to be hired by someone, by the hiring manager, your CV should be the branding which you should focus on, rather than having the cover letter or anything else. The other guest speakers can also add on from here on, that whether this is the practice which the candidates should follow. Because as per my experience, or as per my expertise, I think cover letter is outdated. It's not there anymore.
So
I
Fatima,
would
would you
also
like
like
to
to
add
add
on cover
something.
letter?
I think Zahid wanted to take it up. I'll answer after him.
So actually, Rahil just mentioned that the cover letter is the just outdated practice. It's not mandatory or something like that in because he's already in this industry. So he just said that your resume or CV should be standing in the
No,
market.
I got that question. I thought Zahid wanted to take that. Zahid, do you wanted to say something?
Yes, Miss Fatma, I would just add something. I also agree with Mr. Rahil. It is an outdated, but there are certain institutions still they require a cover letter. Okay, if it is required, if it is mandatory, you need to add that accordingly. Or if it is not, there is no need to add. Okay, so it depends, or it varies from the employer or the institution or the job description or the recruiter, whatever they are requiring. So this is my point of view.
Just to though I agree with both of you that yeah, some HR professionals they do not open the cover letter. We really need to understand why are we using a cover letter, because most people what they do is they don't use the cover letter in the right way, and it's just a copy paste of the CV or the cover letter, and that's the reason why the HR professional is probably ignoring that cover letter. When they open it, they see it's the same thing. What's there on the CV is there on the cover letter. So if you can understand what is the purpose of a cover letter, you can actually put that to good use, and that could be one of the things that would make you stand out among the 100 applications that I have received on my email. And also, obviously, there is very few agencies ask for cover letter and CV. Most of them ask only for a resume. So a cover letter would work in a context when you are sending me an email directly. Like if I posted my email address and you're sending it to me, or if you're reaching out to me on LinkedIn and saying, hey, you know what, I've seen this job. At that time, you put a cover letter, and the purpose of the cover letter is to tell them what's not on your CV. It's to give them that burning reason for them to understand that you are the right fit for the role. So if you can achieve that, then yes, the cover letter is a great tool. In fact, in my community, when I coach individuals and when I train them, we go one step beyond a cover letter. We send a cover letter, and we use the same format of the cover letter even on the email. So in case if the HR does not open the cover letter, that same content is there on the email. And we go one step beyond and add something called as a portfolio. So the portfolio is especially for senior positions. It would not apply for junior positions, but then, hey, if you're really interested in that job and you want to tell them that I can do this, then you pick three problems or three things that they need you to solve. Give them a case study that you have solved it in the past, or tell them how you can solve it for them. So these are the things that we're talking about where you can stand out among the applications. So if you keep doing the same thing over and over again and expect different results, then I don't know what you're trying to tell yourself, right? So you need to try different approaches to get different results, because systems work and people fail. So if you have that system where you can, this is the job, okay, these are the things that I'm going to do, this is how I'm going to approach, you have the right strategy. And like Maria said, the mindset, I don't care the job market is saturated. I know I'm the right fit for the role. I know I'm qualified. I know I can do this job for them. So it's your job to make them understand that you can. So if you can do that, then yes, use a cover letter. If you can't do that, then you can keep doing the same thing everybody else is doing, and just send a resume. So it depends upon like how you want to approach the whole journey. That's my answer to the question.
Thank you. So next is from Shailaja Ramtiki. Uh, she just mentioned for data science, but I will ask for everything. I have a question. Without recommendation, can we get jobs in data science? So, like without recommendations, I think so. It's recommendations is all not always preferred, right? Or references. So it depends on. So, what would you like to say, Rahil, about this with recommendations or references?
Let's not deny the fact that recommendations do work. Yes. And I was talking to another colleague of mine other day, and we were discussing about the same thing. And let me just tell you an unpopular opinion here, that most of the jobs, like I can say that 50% of the jobs what we see over the LinkedIn or online platforms, it's an unpopular